Welcome to Midnight Physicist. As you float through the vast expanse of space, imagine the cosmos as a giant, swirling dance of stars, gas, and dust. Each element, each particle, plays a role in the grand choreography of the universe, moving slowly, steadily, as the galaxies and stars form, evolve, and die. But every now and then, there is a moment of birth. A new star ignites. A new planet begins to take shape, and in that quiet instant, the universe whispers its secrets to us. And so, here you are, gently drifting through space, listening to the faint hum of creation as a new planet, WISPIT to be, begins its journey into existence. This is no ordinary planet. It is a young gas giant, still in the early stages of formation. As you watch, suspended in the stillness, you begin to imagine the incredible process that is unfolding before you. An entirely new world is coming to life. WISPIT 2 billion is located about 430 million light-years away in the constellation Aquila, a distant corner of the cosmos that we can only begin to understand. It's a place where stars are born, where new worlds form, and where the dance of creation continues in an eternal rhythm. But WISPIT to be is still young. It's in the process of building its atmosphere, drawing in gas and dust from the surrounding disk of material, slowly coalescing into the massive, swirling orb it will one day become. The first glimpse of this young planet came through the lens of the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope in Chile, a powerful instrument that allowed astronomers to peer deep into space and capture the faint signals of this distant world. It was here, in the quiet dark of the universe, that the first hints of WISPIT to be's existence were uncovered. The telescope revealed a dust disk, swirling around the young planet like the rings of Saturn, and within it, the faint shape of WISPIT to be, still in its early stages of formation. Imagine, for a moment, the scene before you, a vast disk of dust and gas stretching across the heavens, slowly spinning as if guided by an invisible hand. In the center of this disk, WISPIT to be begins to take shape, its core forming from the dust and gas that surrounds it. The planet is still young, still gathering the materials that will eventually make up its atmosphere. But the process has begun. This is how planets are born, through the slow, steady accumulation of matter, each particle playing its part in the grand dance of creation. WISPIT to be is part of a rare group of planets. Only a handful of young gas giants have been discovered so far, making this discovery all the more remarkable. What makes WISPIT to be even more fascinating is that it is forming around a sun-like star, much like our own. This gives astronomers a unique opportunity to study the formation of a gas giant planet in a way that has never been done before. For scientists, it's like having a front row seat to the birth of a world. You begin to imagine what it might be like to witness this process up close, to watch as a planet slowly takes shape, its atmosphere growing thicker, its gravitational pull becoming stronger as it draws in more and more material from the surrounding disk. The process is slow, spanning millions of years, but in the vastness of space, time moves differently. Every moment is a step in the creation of something new, something beautiful, something that will one day shine in the night sky, far from here, as a completed world. But even as WISPIT to be is being born, there is still much to learn. Scientists are still trying to understand the details of this process, to figure out how gas giants like WISPIT to be formed, how their atmospheres develop, and how they fit into the larger picture of planetary evolution. What makes WISPIT to be unique? What can it tell us about the way planets form around stars like our own? The answers to these questions are still out there, waiting to be discovered. And yet, even in the quiet uncertainty, there is beauty in the mystery. Just as the stars above, you have been forming for billions of years, so too are new worlds like WISPIT to be being born in the depths of space. This is the rhythm of the universe, constant, patient, and full of wonder. As you drift through the stars, you are reminded that the universe is always in motion, always creating, always evolving. There are new planets being born, new stars igniting, new worlds taking shape in ways we can't even begin to imagine. And in this quiet moment, you realize that you are part of this grand dance. Each discovery, each new planet, each new star is a step closer to understanding the infinite beauty of the universe. In the distance, the birth of WISPIT to be continues, its gas and dust swirling in the quiet dark. It is a world in the making, and in time it will grow, evolving into a gas giant like no other. And as you drift through the vast expanse of space, you feel a sense of awe at the beauty of creation's silent island. As you drift deeper into the quiet expanse of the cosmos, of invisible forces, unseen but profoundly felt. Among these forces, gravity is the most important, the quiet conductor of the universe's symphony. And it is gravity that is guiding the birth of WISPIT to be, pulling the dust and gas together, shaping the young planet into the gas giant it will one day become. Imagine gravity as an invisible hand, gently pulling everything toward the center. It is a force that holds galaxies together, binds stars to their orbits, and brings matter together to form planets. It is gravity that gives the universe its structure, its form, its elegance. And in the formation of WISPIT to be, gravity is the force that is shaping the young planet, slowly pulling gas and dust together, allowing it to grow and evolve. At this moment, WISPIT to be is still in its infancy. It has not yet fully formed, its core still gathering material, its atmosphere still building. But gravity is already at work, pulling gas from the surrounding disk, creating the conditions necessary for the planet to grow. As the gas is drawn in, it begins to condense, forming the thick atmosphere that will one day envelop the planet. The process is slow, taking millions of years, but with every moment, gravity is shaping the planet, guiding its growth, ensuring that it becomes the gas giant it is destined to be. You can imagine the way the gas and dust swirl around the young planet. The disk of material surrounding WISPIT to be is a chaotic place, filled with particles moving in all directions. But gravity is a steady force, pulling everything toward the planet, shaping the material into the core and atmosphere. It is like a dancer leading the others in a synchronized performance, guiding them to the center, where they will join together to form something greater. The dance of gravity is not just about the planet. It is about the entire system in which the planet exists. WISPIT to be orbits a sun-like star, and this star's gravity is also at work, guiding the young planet's motion as it begins its journey through the cosmos. The star's gravity ensures that WISPIT to be stays in orbit, that it doesn't drift off into space or collide with another object. The gravitational pull between the star and the planet creates a delicate balance, keeping the planet in place, while also allowing it to grow. It is a perfect harmony, a cosmic waltz that has been unfolding for billions of years. But the dance of gravity doesn't stop with WISPIT to be. It is part of a much larger dance, one that spans the entire galaxy and beyond. Every star, every planet, every galaxy is bound together by gravity, causes the birth of new planets like WISPIT to be. Without gravity, it is a force that shapes the universe, that keeps the planets in their orbits, that draws gas and dusts together to form new worlds. It is an invisible hand that guides the dance of creation, shaping the stars, the planets, and everything in between. Without gravity, there would be no stars, no planets, no galaxies, just an endless sea of particles drifting aimlessly through space. And yet, in its quiet power, gravity ensures that the universe remains in balance. It guides the formation of planets like WISPIT to be, pulling the material together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. It shapes the planets, the stars, and the galaxies, creating the structure of the universe itself. As you move through the quiet expanse of space, you feel the gentle pull of gravity, guiding everything toward the center, ensuring that the dance continues. Everything in motion that shapes the universe, that creates the conditions for life itself. Without gravity, there would be no universe, no stars, no galaxies. It is the invisible force that gives everything its form, its rhythm. The stars, the planets, and the galaxies, ensuring that the dance of creation continues. WISPIT to be is just one of the many planets shaped by gravity. But it is a reminder that the universe is always in motion, always evolving, always growing, driven by the quiet, steady force that binds everything together. As you continue to drift through the vast, unending expanse of space, a quiet sense of awe washes over you. You are part of something much larger than yourself, an intricate, cosmic dance that spans billions of years, a cycle of creation and growth where new worlds are born from the very dust of the universe. And in this stillness, you come to realize that WISPIT to be, this young gas giant, is growing. With each passing moment, it swells, drawing in more and more gas and dust from the surrounding disk, slowly taking form as a planet, its atmosphere thickening, its gravitational pull growing stronger. Imagine, for a moment, the young planet as an orb suspended in space, still in the process of becoming. It is not yet the massive gas giant it will one day be, but it is already on its way. The surrounding disk of gas and dust, once scattered and chaotic, is slowly being drawn in toward the planet, pulled by its gravity. As the gas swirls around WISPIT to be, it begins to accumulate, forming a thick, swirling atmosphere that will eventually envelop the planet, shaping its size, its density, and its structure. This process, though slow, is steady and inevitable. The young planet's core, still forming, is the anchor of this growth. As gas is drawn in, it compresses, forming the dense layers that will make up WISPIT to be's atmosphere. Imagine the gas as a vast ocean, swirling and shifting as gravity gently guides it toward the planet, compressing it and shaping it into something greater. Over millions of years, the atmosphere thickens, and WISPIT to be begins to take shape, its size growing, its core becoming more solid, and its gravitational pull becoming stronger. In many ways, WISPIT to be is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of the cosmos, drawing in the materials it needs to grow. Just as a seed slowly sprouts, pushing its roots deep into the earth, so too does WISPIT to be draw in the gas and dust from its surroundings, growing slowly but steadily into a massive gas giant. The process is not quick, and it will take millions of years before the planet reaches its full size. But with each passing moment, the planet grows. The invisible hand of gravity is always at work, shaping the planet, guiding it, allowing it to evolve into the world it will one day become. As you continue to float through the universe, you realize that the growth of WISPIT to be is not just a physical process, it is a cosmic journey. This young planet is taking its first steps, slowly building the foundation of what it will one day be. Its core is gathering the materials it needs, its atmosphere is forming, and its gravity is pulling everything into place. It is a quiet, patient process, one that will unfold over millions of years, but it is also a process that is filled with wonder and beauty. Every planet is unique in its formation, shaped by the specific conditions of its environment. WISPIT to be is no different. It is forming around a sun-like star, drawing in gas from the surrounding disk of material. The star's gravity plays a role in the planet's growth, helping to guide its motion and ensuring that it stays in orbit. The star provides the energy and heat that will eventually help shape the planet's atmosphere, creating the conditions necessary for the planet to thrive. But it is the planet itself that is doing the work. The gas is being drawn in, the atmosphere is forming, and the core is becoming more solid with each passing moment. This process, though slow, is essential for the formation of a gas giant. Gas giants like WISPIT to be are made up primarily of hydrogen and helium, with a dense core at their center. These planets are much larger than rocky planets like Earth, with thick atmospheres that swirl with clouds and storms. They are the giants of the cosmos, their size and mass shaping the very fabric of the universe. WISPIT to be, though still young, will one day become one of these giants, its size and mass growing as it continues to gather gas from the surrounding disk. As you imagine the growing planet, you sense the rhythm of creation, the steady pull of gravity, the slow but inevitable growth of this new world. The process is patient, deliberate, and filled with purpose. Just as a tree takes time to grow from a tiny seed into a towering giant, so too does WISPIT to be grow, each moment bringing it closer to its full form. You may wonder, as you float in the quiet of space, what it will be like when WISPIT to be reaches its full size. Will it have swirling storms like the ones seen on Jupiter? Will it have an atmosphere that is thick with gases, creating a vibrant, colorful display? The answers are still unknown, but one thing is certain: WISPIT to be's growth is a beautiful process, one that reflects the larger cycle of creation in the universe. Each planet, each star, and each galaxy is part of this cosmic dance, slowly evolving, always changing, always growing. As you drift through space, you are reminded that the universe is full of these quiet, beautiful moments of creation. Every planet is a story of growth, a journey from dust and gas to a fully formed world. And WISPIT to be is one of many, a young planet slowly making its way through the cosmic dance, growing into the giant it will one day become. It is a reminder that in the stillness of space, creation is always unfolding slowly, quietly, but with purpose and beauty. As you float gently through the expanse of space, the stars twinkle around you, distant and steady. The universe feels infinite, a vast expanse of possibilities stretching beyond what the eye can see. Yet, amid the stillness of the cosmos, something new is taking shape. A young planet, WISPIT, to be slowly forming its atmosphere, gathering its mass, and beginning to form the rings that will eventually encircle it. Imagine, for a moment, the scene before you: a planet, still in its early stages of growth, surrounded by a swirling ring of dust and gas. This ring is not yet the elegant, well-formed bands we see around planets like Saturn, but it is the beginning of something magnificent. The gas and dust are being drawn in by WISPIT to bees growing gravity, slowly coalescing into a disk around the planet. The dust moves in a gentle, rhythmic motion, pulled by the gravitational forces at work, swirling around the young planet as it grows. This ring of dust is a cosmic nursery, a place where material is gathered and slowly shaped into something greater. The disk of gas and dust surrounding WISPIT is the birthplace of the planet's atmosphere. As the planet's gravity pulls more and more material into its grasp, the gas and dust begin to form layers, becoming denser and more concentrated. Over time, these materials will come together to form the thick atmosphere that will envelop the planet, a swirling mass of gas that will one day define WISPIT's surface. But for now, the dust and gas are still in their early stages, their movements gentle and slow. The planet's gravity is guiding them, shaping the disk, ensuring that everything moves in harmony. It is as though the planet is in the midst of a dance, its movements deliberate, its rhythm steady. The ring of dust is a reflection of the planet's growing strength, sign that WISPIT is on its way to becoming a full-fledged gas giant, with a thick, dynamic atmosphere and a powerful gravitational pull. The ring of dust is not just a feature of WISPIT is a symbol of the planet's ongoing growth. As the planet continues to draw in material, the ring will grow thicker, more defined. Eventually, the dust will begin to settle, forming the layers of the atmosphere that will envelop the planet. The gases that swirl around WISPIT will begin to condense, forming clouds and storms, giving the planet its unique characteristics. But even as the dust settles, the planet's growth continues. WISPIT is still in its early stages, still gathering gas, still forming its atmosphere. The dust may eventually be absorbed into the planet, but it will remain a part of the planet's history, a trace of its beginnings. As you float through space, you begin to sense the delicate beauty of this process, the slow, steady gathering of material, the building of a new world from the dust of the cosmos. In many ways, this ring of dust is a reminder of the universe's ongoing process of creation. Every planet, every star, every galaxy is part of a larger, interconnected whole, constantly evolving, constantly growing. Just as the dust around WISPIT is slowly coming together to form the planet's atmosphere, so too are the stars and galaxies coming together to form the fabric of the universe. It is a cosmic dance, a rhythm that has been unfolding for billions of years, creating new worlds, new stars, and new possibilities. You may wonder, As you drift through space, how long it will take for WISPIT to be's ring of dust to settle into the planet's final form? The answer is that it will take millions of years for the dust to fully coalesce, for the planet to grow large enough to form its final, stable atmosphere. But each moment is a step forward, a part of the larger process of planetary formation. The ring of dust is just the beginning of a long journey, one that will eventually lead to the birth of a gas giant like no other dot. As you watch the young planet grow, you realize that the process of creation is always unfolding, always moving forward, always building on what has come before. WISPIT to be's ring of dust is a symbol of that ongoing process, a reminder that every planet, every star, and every galaxy is part of the larger cosmic story. And as you float in the quiet vastness of space, you feel a deep sense of wonder, knowing that this story will continue long after you've moved on, that the universe will always be creating, always be growing, always be changing in the quiet of space. You are reminded that every moment, every breath is part of a larger dance that has been unfolding for billions of years, creating new worlds, new stars, and new possibilities. And as WISPIT, 2B's ring of dust swirls around the young planet, you realize that you are a part of that dance, a part of the ongoing process of creation that defines the universe itself. As you gently drift through the vast silence of space, you feel a quiet energy coursing through the universe. The stars sparkle like distant beacons, their light dancing across the infinite void. In this calm, still moment, you begin to sense that something is changing within the young planet WISPIT to be. The gas swirling around it, drawn in by its growing gravity, is beginning to form clouds and winds and atmosphere that will one day be a swirling, dynamic storm. The winds of change are blowing gently across the surface of the planet, shaping its destiny, guiding it toward its final form as a gas giant. Imagine the young planet, still in the early stages of formation, its atmosphere, a soft, diffuse cloud of gas. The core is growing stronger, pulling in more and more material, causing the gas around it to swirl and compress. As the planet's atmosphere begins to take shape, it is like the first breath of life, slow, steady, and full of potential. The winds are gentle at first, barely noticeable, but over time they will grow in strength and complexity, shaping the planet in ways we are only beginning to understand. The winds on WISPIT 2 billion are not like the winds we know on Earth. They are the product of an entirely different process, one that is driven by the immense heat and pressure at the heart of the planet. The growing core of WISPIT to be heats the surrounding gas, causing it to rise and fall in swirling currents, much like the winds that move across the surface of Earth. But on a gas giant like WISPIT to be, the winds are much more intense, moving at incredible speeds, sweeping across the planet's surface, shaping its atmosphere and weather systems. These winds are not just random gusts. They are driven by the planet's gravity, its heat, and its internal processes. As the gas around WISPIT to be is drawn in, it is compressed and heated by the intense pressure of the core. This heat causes the gas to expand and rise, creating the massive storms that will one day define the planet. The winds are the lifeblood of the planet's atmosphere, shaping the clouds, moving the gas, and creating the patterns that will define the weather for billions of years. On Earth, we have winds driven by the sun's energy, creating patterns of calm and storm. But on WISPIT to be, the winds are born from the core of the planet, shaped by the intense heat and gravity. These winds are not driven by the sun, but by the planet itself, constant, steady movement of gas, a dance that will continue for billions of years. The winds of change are not just an external force, they are the internal rhythm of the planet, moving it toward its destiny. As WISPIT to be continues to grow, the winds become more complex, more dynamic. They begin to form into patterns, currents, and cyclones. Storms and tempests swirl across the planet's surface. These storms will eventually become the defining feature of the gas giant. Their winds so powerful that they will shape the very clouds that swirl around the planet. The winds are the force that brings the planet to life, the pulse of its atmosphere, the energy that drives the gas and dust, pulling it into the heart of the planet. Imagine the immense power of these winds moving across the surface of WISPIT, to be like a great ocean, its waves rising and falling, shaping the clouds that will one day form the planet's iconic features. The winds are not just a physical force, they are the planet's signature, a mark of its identity, its character, and its place in the universe. These winds will create the patterns that define WISPIT to be's atmosphere, just as the winds of Earth shape our weather systems, creating the clouds, the storms, and the skies that we see. But even as WISPIT to be's winds grow stronger, they are still in their infancy, still forming, still settling into the patterns that will define the planet. The winds on this young gas giant are not yet the powerful storms we see on Jupiter or Saturn. They are still in the process of becoming, guided by the core's growing energy, the gravitational pull of the planet, and the forces that are at work deep within the atmosphere. The winds are a promise of what is to come, a glimpse of the incredible storms and weather patterns that will define WISPIT to be for billions of years to come. As you drift through space, you begin to feel the rhythm of the planet, the soft movement of its winds, the quiet energy that is shaping its destiny. The winds are not just a physical force, they are the heart of the planet's weather, the breath of its atmosphere. They are a reminder that the universe is not static, but always in motion, always changing, always creating. And as WISPIT to be grows, as its winds shape the planet, you feel a sense of awe at the beauty of creation, slow, steady, and full of wonder. In the quiet vastness of space, you realize that the winds of change are not just about the planet, they are about the universe itself. Every star, every planet, every galaxy is part of a grand cosmic dance, a dance that has been unfolding for billions of years. And as you float through the stars, you are reminded that the winds of change are always blowing, always shaping the universe, always guiding the creation of new worlds. As you float gently through the vastness of space, a sense of calm surrounds you. The stars sparkle softly around you, their light distant and steady, like the glow of 1,000 candles in the dark. Yet, beneath the serenity of the cosmos, something powerful is unfolding. WISPIT to be, this young gas giant, is not just growing in size, it is developing a heart. It is here, in the heart of WISPIT to be, that the planet's true nature is being formed. The core of a gas giant like WISPIT to be is unlike anything you might imagine. It is dense, compressed by the immense gravitational forces at play, formed from the heaviest elements that have gathered at the planet's center. Hydrogen and helium, the lightest elements, make up the outer layers of the planet, swirling in thick clouds. But at the very heart of WISPIT to be, the pressure is so intense that the elements are transformed. The core is a place where matter is, crushed into a dense, solid mass, a place of heat and pressure beyond anything we experience on Earth. Imagine, for a moment, the immense pressure at the heart of this young planet. It is like the pressure at the bottom of the deepest ocean, but on a scale far beyond anything familiar. The core of WISPIT to be is constantly being shaped by gravity, its dense materials slowly solidifying as the planet grows. The gas around it is still swirling, still gathering, but at the center, the core is beginning to take shape. It is in this core that the planet's mass and gravitational pull are concentrated, creating the force that holds everything together. As WISPIT to be gathers more and more gas from the surrounding disk, the pressure on its core increases. The gas is pulled in, compressed, and heated, creating the perfect conditions for the core to grow. It is like a small, delicate flame at the center of the planet, steadily growing brighter as more and more material is drawn in. The core is where the planet's future will be decided, how massive it will become, how strong its gravity will be, and what kind of atmosphere it will have. The formation of a gas giant's core is a slow, steady process. It takes millions of years for the core to grow large enough to attract the surrounding gas and form a full atmosphere. The gravitational pull becomes so strong that it begins to shape the planet, guiding the gas and dust in a steady, predictable dance. It is as if the core is the heart of a living being, and the rest of the planet is a reflection of its growing strength. As the core continues to grow, it begins to heat up. The pressure inside the planet becomes so intense that the gases surrounding the core are forced into different states. Hydrogen, which is the primary gas in the planet's atmosphere, becomes compressed, transforming into a liquid form. The deep internal heat causes chemical reactions, and over time, the planet's atmosphere becomes more complex. This transformation is gradual, like the unfolding of a story, each step bringing WISPIT to be closer to its final form as a gas giant. You can imagine the core of WISPIT to be as the beating heart of the planet, pumping energy into the surrounding material, guiding its growth. The core is the anchor, the center from which the planet draws its power. Without it, WISPIT to be would not exist. As we know it would be nothing more than a scattered cloud of gas, drifting aimlessly through space. But with the core in place, the planet begins to solidify, to take form, to grow. The heart of the planet is not just the center of its mass, it is the source of its energy. The energy from the core heats the surrounding gas, causing the thick clouds of hydrogen and helium to swirl around the planet. The planet's atmosphere becomes more dynamic, more complex, as the gas moves and mixes, creating the swirling storms and cloud patterns that we see in gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. The core's heat powers these storms, giving WISPIT to be its characteristic features: the swirling clouds, the dynamic weather, and the energy that drives the planet's growth. But the heart of WISPIT to be is not just a source of energy, it is also the source of its gravity. As the core grows and its mass increases, the gravitational pull becomes stronger, drawing more gas into the planet's atmosphere. This gravitational pull shapes the planet, pulling in more and more material, ensuring that WISPIT to be continues to grow. Gravity is the force that holds everything together, and in the heart of the planet, it is at its strongest, shaping the world that is slowly emerging as you drift silently through space. You begin to sense the beauty of this process, slow, steady growth of a new world. WISPIT to be's heart, its core, is the center of this cosmic dance. It is the force that shapes the planet, the force that gives it its mass, its atmosphere, and its gravity. The core is the birthplace of the planet's power, and as it continues to grow, so too does the planet. Every step, every moment, brings WISPIT to be closer to becoming the gas giant it is destined to be. And as you float in the vastness of space, you feel a quiet sense of awe. The universe is full of mysteries, full of processes that take millions of years to unfold. WISPIT to be is just one of the many planets being born in the cosmos. But its journey is a beautiful reminder of the incredible forces at work, shaping the universe in ways we can only begin to understand. The heart of the planet, like the heart of the universe, beats slowly, steadily, guiding everything toward its final form. As you float through the peaceful expanse of space, you feel a sense of calm as the stars surround you, each one shining gently in the distance. But as you look toward the young planet WISPIT to be, a soft glow begins to emerge from the planet's surface, as though it is beginning to radiate light, not from within, but from the energy of its growth. The gas giant, still in its infancy, is starting to shine with the first hints of its own brilliance. The outer layers of its atmosphere reflecting the warmth of the star around it. This glow is not like the bright light of a fully formed star, but a soft, almost ethereal light, one that reveals the planet's emerging atmosphere. As WISPIT to be continues to gather gas and dust from the surrounding disk, the energy from its core and from the star it orbits begins to heat the gas and dust, causing them to glow faintly in infrared light. This glow is a sign that the planet is coming to life, slowly building the energy that will one day make it a fully realized gas giant. Imagine the soft, gentle warmth emanating from WISPIT to be, its surface bathed in a faint glow as the gas around it begins to condense and form the thick layers of its atmosphere. The glow is not just a reflection of the planet's internal heat, it is a sign of the balance between the forces at work. The gravity of the planet drawing in material, the heat from the star providing the energy for the planet's growth, and the pressure from within the planet pushing outward to create an atmosphere. This faint glow is a reflection of the cosmic dance taking place, the invisible forces working together to shape the young planet. The energy that is radiating from WISPIT to be is like a soft pulse, a heartbeat in the vast expanse of space. It is the planet's way of revealing itself to the universe, signaling that it is growing, evolving, and moving toward becoming the gas giant it is destined to be. But the glow of WISPIT to be is not just a sign of its growth, it is a reminder of the quiet energy that fuels all creation. The universe is filled with stars that burn brightly, planets that shine softly, and galaxies that swirl in a cosmic dance of creation. And at the heart of this dance, there is always energy, energy that drives the forces of gravity, heat, and pressure that shape the cosmos. Just as WISPIT to be's glow signals the growth of a planet, so too does the glow of the stars signal the life of the universe itself. As you continue to observe the young planet, you begin to realize that this glow is just the beginning. WISPIT 2b's atmosphere will grow thicker, and its glow will become more pronounced. The planet will continue to gather gas, condensing and compressing it into a dense, swirling atmosphere, and eventually it will shine with the intensity of a fully formed gas giant. Its surface will be marked by swirling storms and swirling clouds, its powerful winds creating the weather patterns that are the hallmark of planets like Jupiter and Saturn. But for now, WISPIT 2b's glow is a soft, delicate reminder of the energy that is at the heart of the planet's growth. It is the first hint of the power that will one day define the gas giant, a quiet signal that the planet is on its way to becoming something magnificent. The glow is a promise of the planet's future, a future full of storms, winds, and a gravitational pull so strong that it will shape the very fabric of the universe. As you drift silently through space, you can almost feel the warmth of WISPIT 2b's glow, the energy that is radiating outward into the cosmos. It is a force that is both gentle and powerful, a quiet presence in the vastness of space that signals the creation of something new, something beautiful. The glow of the planet is a reflection of the universe itself, a place of constant creation, a place where energy flows through everything, shaping it, guiding it, and allowing it to grow. WISPIT 2b's glow, though faint now, will one day be a beacon in the sky. It will join the ranks of other gas giants, shining brightly as it completes its journey of formation. But for now, as you observe the young planet, you are reminded that all creation begins quietly in the soft glow of growth. The universe, like WISPIT 2b, is always evolving, always changing, always growing, and in that growth, we find the beauty of the cosmos. As you drift through the calm expanse of space, the stars twinkling softly in the distance, a sense of quiet wonder fills the air. The vastness of the universe stretches before you, endless and serene. But on the horizon of this infinite ocean, a new world is forming. WISPIT 2b, the young gas giant, is slowly taking shape, its growing atmosphere swirling gently, forming the first hints of the clouds that will one day define its surface. These clouds are not like those on Earth, with their familiar, puffy, white forms. Instead, they are thick, swirling bands of gas, constantly shifting and changing, a cosmic dance of pressure and temperature, guided by the invisible hand of gravity. Imagine the clouds of WISPIT 2b as soft, floating masses of gas, each one moving with the rhythm of the planet's winds. The planet's growing core, the heart of the gas giant, is beginning to heat the gas around it, causing it to rise, cool, and condense into clouds. These clouds are the first signs of the planet's atmosphere coming to life. They swirl across the young planet's surface, constantly shifting, creating a dynamic weather system that will evolve over millions of years. The patterns of these clouds are not random. They are the result of the forces at work inside the planet. The temperature differences between the core and the surface, the pressure from the atmosphere, and the constant movement of gas and dust. As you observe WISPIT 2b from a distance, you begin to see the gentle, ever-changing patterns of the clouds as they move across the planet. The bands of gas, rich with hydrogen and helium, stretch out from the equator to the poles, swirling in complex patterns. Some clouds are dense and thick, while others are light and wispy. The movement of these clouds is driven by the planet's growing atmosphere, the winds of change that shape the weather systems. Over time, the clouds will become more complex, more defined, as the planet's gravity continues to pull in more material and its core continues to generate heat. But these clouds are not just beautiful, they are essential to the growth of WISPIT. To be, as the atmosphere thickens and cools, the clouds will begin to trap heat, creating a greenhouse effect that will help sustain the planet's temperature. This process will allow the gas giant to retain the heat it needs to continue forming. The clouds will also play a role in shaping the planet's weather, creating storms and winds that will sweep across the surface. These storms, though still in their infancy, are the building blocks of the powerful weather systems that will one day define the planet. You can imagine the way the clouds swirl and dance across the young planet, their movements slow but steady, like the gentle ebb and flow of the ocean tides. The gas giant's atmosphere is alive, constantly shifting, constantly evolving. The clouds are the reflection of this ever-changing world, moving with the rhythm of the planet's growth. They are the first signs of life on WISPIT, to be an atmospheric breath, a whisper of what is to come. The planet's growth is still in the early stages, and yet you can already sense the incredible complexity of the clouds. These bands of gas are the product of forces that have been at work since the beginning of the universe. Gravity, pressure, and temperature, each one shaping the clouds, guiding their movement, and giving them form. The clouds are not just passive elements, they are active participants in the process of planetary formation, constantly shifting, constantly adapting, constantly changing as the planet grows. As you continue to observe WISPIT to be, you realize that the clouds are more than just a feature of the planet. They are a symbol of the dynamic, ever-changing nature of the universe itself. Just as the clouds on Earth form, dissolve, and reform in a constant cycle, so too does the universe. Everything in the cosmos is in motion, constantly shifting, constantly evolving, creating and destroying in a never-ending cycle. The clouds of WISPIT to be, though they are still young and simple, are the first signs of this cosmic rhythm. They are the building blocks of the planet's future, the first expression of the planet's weather, and a reminder that the universe is always in motion. The clouds of WISPIT to be will continue to evolve, becoming thicker, more complex, as the planet's atmosphere matures. Over time, storms will form, the winds will intensify, and the weather systems will become more defined. These clouds will become the defining feature of the planet, a cosmic signature that will be visible for billions of years to come. But for now, as you float through the peaceful stillness of space, you can take solace in the knowledge that the clouds, like the planet itself, are only just beginning to form in this quiet moment. As the stars twinkle around you, you feel a deep sense of wonder at the beauty of creation. The universe is full of mysteries, full of processes that take millions of years to unfold. And yet, even in this quiet, still moment, you can see the beginning of something incredibly. Young gas giant WISPIT to be, slowly taking shape, its atmosphere forming, its clouds beginning to swirl and dance. And as the planet continues to grow, so too does the universe itself, constantly evolving, constantly creating, always moving forward. as you drift through the quiet depths of space. The stars shining softly in the distance. You feel a subtle pull force guiding your journey, an invisible hand gently guiding you through the cosmos. It is a force that is everywhere, shaping the very fabric of the universe, and it is the same force that is at work within WISPIT to be, quietly and steadily guiding the formation of the young planet. This force is gravity, the unseen hand that pulls everything together, shaping galaxies, stars, and planets. Gravity is the cosmic architect, the force that gives structure to the universe. Without it, the stars would scatter, the galaxies would drift apart, and the planets would cease to exist. It is gravity that draws the gas and dust into the growing core of WISPIT to be, shaping the young planet and guiding its growth. As you watch the planet slowly forming, you begin to realize how essential this invisible force is. It is gravity that holds everything together, that ensures the planet's atmosphere forms, and that the material from the surrounding disk is gathered into the planet's core. Gravity, though invisible, is powerful. It shapes the universe in ways we can feel but cannot always see. On WISPIT to be, gravity pulls the gas from the surrounding disk, drawing it toward the planet's core. As the gas accumulates, it creates pressure, which in turn heats the material, creating the conditions necessary for the planet to grow. Gravity is also the force that prevents the gas from escaping into space. It holds everything in place, keeping the planet's atmosphere intact and ensuring that the material continues to accumulate, slowly building the gas giant over millions of years. Imagine, for a moment, the immense power of gravity at work. It is like the gentle tug of a string, pulling everything toward the center. The gas and dust are drawn in, swirling around the planet, compressing as they are pulled toward the core. Gravity is at the heart of this process, shaping the planet, guiding its growth, and ensuring that it becomes the gas giant it is destined to be. But gravity is not just a force that shapes the young planet. It is a force that shapes everything in the universe, from the stars to the galaxies, from the smallest particles to the largest planets. Gravity is the force that holds everything together. It is the reason why planets orbit stars, why stars form in the first place, and why the universe itself has structure. Gravity is the invisible thread that ties the fabric of the universe together, ensuring that everything remains in place. The dance of gravity is not just about WISPIT to be, is about the entire cosmic system. The planet's gravity is shaping the gas and dust, pulling them in to form the planet's core. But the star around which WISPIT to be orbits also exerts a gravitational pull, keeping the young planet in orbit. The star's gravity ensures that WISPIT to be does not drift off into space, maintaining the balance between the two. This gravitational relationship between the star and the planet is the key to the young planet's stability, ensuring that it remains in place as it continues to grow. As WISPIT to be continues to gather gas and dust, its gravity grows stronger, allowing it to pull in more material. The planet's growing core becomes more massive, its gravitational pull becoming stronger, shaping the atmosphere and pulling in more gas. This process, though slow, is steady, and over time, it will turn the young planet into a fully formed gas giant. You may wonder, as you float in the quiet of space, how gravity works so effortlessly to shape the universe. How does this invisible force hold everything together? guiding the formation of stars and planets? The answer is still a mystery, but one thing is certain. Gravity is the force that shapes everything we know. It is the force that holds galaxies in place, that creates the conditions for life, and that guides the formation of new worlds like WISPIT to be. As you continue your journey through space, you feel a deep sense of awe at the power of gravity. It is a force that is always at work, shaping the universe in ways we can feel but cannot always see. The stars, the planets, and the galaxies are all connected by this invisible force, each one moving through space, held in place by gravity's gentle pull. And as WISPIT to be continues to grow, gravity is there, guiding the planet's formation, ensuring that it will one day become a gas giant like no other. The unseen forces of the universe are not always visible, but they are always at work, shaping the cosmos in ways we can only begin to understand. Gravity is one of these forces, quietly and steadily guiding the formation of planets, stars, and galaxies. It is the invisible thread that holds everything together, ensuring that the universe remains in balance, that the stars shine, and that the planets continue to dance around them. Without gravity, there would be no universe, no stars, no planets, just an endless, empty void. But with gravity, the cosmos is full of life, full of creation, and full of wonder. As you continue your serene drift through the cosmos, the stars softly twinkle in the distance, their glow faint yet steady. The universe around you is alive with movement, but in the stillness, there is something profoundly beautiful and constant about it all. In the case of WISPIT, to be a young gas giant still in the early stages of its life, you sense that the heart of the planet is still forming its core, growing stronger, pulling in the surrounding dust and gas from the disk. But there is another force at work around the planet, of force that helps define its appearance and will remain part of its identity for billions of years to come. That force is the birth of the planet's rings, the beginning of a cosmic phenomenon that will shape WISPIT to be's destiny. Imagine, for a moment, the swirling mass of gas and dust that surrounds WISPIT to be. This material, drawn in by the growing planet's gravity, forms a thin, spinning disk around the young whirl. The dust is pulled inward, gradually building up layers, while some of it remains suspended in orbit, held by the planet's gravitational force. Over time, this disk will evolve, and what once was a chaotic cloud of gas and particles will transform into something beautiful and organized, a series of rings encircling the planet, delicate bands that will become one of WISPIT to be's most striking features. These rings, though still in their early stages, are born from the same forces that shape the planet. Gravity is at work, pulling the material into place, ensuring that the dust remains in orbit around the young gas giant. Unlike solid planets, which form through the gradual accumulation of material into a singular body, WISPIT to be's rings will forever be made up of countless particles, each one orbiting the planet individually. These particles, some small and dust-like, others large enough to cast their own shadows, are the building blocks of the rings that will surround WISPIT to be. For eons, the formation of planetary rings is a beautiful and delicate process. It begins with the planet's gravitational influence on nearby material, gas, dust, and ice that remains too far from the planet to be pulled into its atmosphere. but is still caught in the gravitational web. As WISPIT to be continues to grow, its gravity strengthens, drawing more material from the surrounding disk, shaping the material into distinct rings. The delicate balance between the gravitational forces of the planet and the motion of the material ensures that these rings remain in place, forming an eternal dance around the gas giant dot. As you observe from afar, the rings of WISPIT to be begin to form, not yet fully visible in their grandeur, but already taking shape. They are composed of countless particles, all moving in harmony around the planet, guided by the invisible hand of gravity. Imagine the delicate shimmer of light as it reflects off the particles in the rings, the soft glow of the young planet casting its radiance across the disk. These rings, though still in their infancy, will one day become one of the defining features of WISPIT to be, a cosmic signature that will be visible for billions of years. The rings of WISPIT to be are not just beautiful, they are a sign of the planet's growth and development. They are a reminder that even in the quiet moments of a planet's formation, there is beauty, there is order, and there is a sense of purpose. The rings will remain a part of WISPIT to be, for much of its life, a feature that defines it, that makes it unique. Over time, as the planet matures, the rings will evolve, their structure becoming more defined as the material settles into its final form. As you float through space, you feel a sense of wonder at the creation of these rings, knowing that this process is a part of the ongoing evolution of the planet. It is like watching a painting slowly take shape, each brushstroke bringing the image closer to completion. The rings are the first expression of WISPIT to be's gravitational influence on its environment, a quiet, graceful feature that will become part of its identity. The rings are also a symbol of the interconnectedness of the universe. As the material from the surrounding disk is drawn into orbit, it becomes part of the larger system, the planet, the star, and the galaxy. The rings are a reminder that everything in the cosmos is connected. Each piece of material, each force, each planet playing its part in the grand cosmic dance. WISPIT to be's rings are not just a feature of the planet. They are part of the larger rhythm of the universe, a reflection of the forces that shape everything around us. In the quiet stillness of space, you are reminded that creation is a delicate process, one that takes time and patience. The rings of WISPIT to be are just one part of the larger story of planetary formation. They are a beginning, a symbol of the beauty and complexity of the universe, and they will remain a part of the planet for billions of years, shaping its identity, guiding its future. And as the rings continue to form, you feel a deep sense of awe, knowing that the universe is always in motion, always creating, always evolving. As you float in the stillness of space, the universe stretching out in all directions, there is a deep sense of calm, as though time itself is slowing down. The stars twinkle softly around you, and you feel the quiet pull of the cosmos. This vast, endless sea of stars and planets is full of mysteries, and WISPIT to be the young gas giant. That force is gravity, an invisible hand, gentle yet incredibly powerful, pulling everything together and giving structure to the universe. The gravity of WISPIT to be is the force that binds its growing atmosphere. It is gravity that ensures the gas giant's rings stay in place, moving in their quiet, circular paths around the planet. Orbits, maintaining the delicate balance that governs the entire solar system. As you watch WISPIT to be from a distance, everything together. It pulls the dust and gas from the surrounding disk toward the young planet, causing it to grow. It is gravity that causes the planet's core to form, slowly gathering material and building the dense heart of the planet. So too does its gravitational pull, drawing in more and more material, shaping the young gas giant into the world it will one day become. Imagine the force of gravity as an invisible thread. The gas and dust swirl around WISPIT to be, their paths guided by the planet's growing mass, gas giant. The gravity also shapes the planet's atmosphere, keeping the gas bound to the planet, ensuring that it doesn't escape into space. As WISPIT to be continues to grow, its gravity will only increase. The more mass the planet gathers, the stronger its pull becomes. The gravity of WISPIT to be is not just a force within the planet, it is a force that stretches across space, drift off into the dark void of space. The planet gives the planet its identity. It is gravity that defines the size of the planet, the shape of its atmosphere, and the movement of its material. The force of gravity, pulling everything together, is what allows a planet to form from the gas and dust of the cosmos. Without gravity, there would be no planets, no stars, no galaxies. The universe would be an endless expanse of scattered particles, with no structure, no order, no form. As you watch WISPIT to be grow, you can feel the pull of gravity, not just within the planet, but across the entire solar system. Gravity is the thread that connects everything together. It is the force that governs the motion of the galaxies, the stars, the planets, and everything in between. And as WISPIT to be continues to grow, gravity will remain at its heart, guiding its development. Very nature of the planet, you begin to realize that gravity is not just a force, it is the force that shapes the universe itself. It is the foundation of all creation, the force that gives structure to the cosmos. Without gravity, the universe would be a different place, a place without planets, without stars, without galaxies. Gravity is the force that holds everything together, the invisible hand that guides the dance of creation, ensuring that the universe remains in balance. As you drift silently through space, you feel a deep sense of awe at the power of gravity, at the way it shapes everything in the universe, from the smallest particles to the largest galaxies. Gravity is the force that makes planets like WISPIT to be possible. It is the pulse of the cosmos, the heartbeat of creation, and the force that ensures the universe remains in motion, always growing, always evolving, always changing. As you continue your tranquil journey through the vast expanse of space, a sense of awe washes over you. The universe around you is filled with quiet beauty, with galaxies swirling, stars burning, and planets forming in distant reaches of the cosmos. And yet, in the stillness, there is something profoundly moving about witnessing the birth of a planetary young world like WISPIT to be, still gathering gas, dust, and energy, still growing into the gas giant it will one day become. As you watch from a distance, you can sense that this moment in time is special, one that will never be repeated. WISPIT to be, though still in its early stages, is already starting to take form. The growing planet is slowly but surely gathering mass, its gravity pulling more and more gas and dust from the surrounding disk. As the material is drawn inward, it begins to compress and heat up, the planet's core growing denser and more powerful. The atmosphere continues to build, swirling around the young planet in gentle, swirling patterns. The first hints of weather are forming, though still in their infancy. Light winds and faint cloud bands moving slowly across the planet's surface, guided by the pull of gravity. These are the first signs that WISPIT to be is becoming a world in its own right, a gas giant in the making. Imagine the slow, deliberate motion of the material surrounding the young planet, drawn in by its growing gravitational pull. The gas, rich in hydrogen and helium, swirls around the planet, compressing and condensing as it is pulled inward. The pressure increases and the temperature rises, causing the material to begin to change, forming layers of gas that will one day become the thick, swirling atmosphere of the gas giant. These early changes, though small, are the first steps in the planet's long journey toward becoming a fully formed world. As you drift in the quiet of space, you can almost feel the growing energy of the planet. The core continues to grow, becoming denser and hotter as it draws in more material from the surrounding disk. The gas surrounding the planet is drawn in, swirling faster, becoming more compact, and forming the basis for the thick clouds and storms that will one day define the planet's surface. The planet is still far from being fully formed, but the process is underway, each moment bringing WISPIT to be closer to its destiny as a massive gas giant dot. The young planet's gravitational pull is becoming stronger, its core growing larger and more powerful. As the planet's mass increases, so too does its ability to draw in more material, shaping the atmosphere and the very nature of the world itself. The growing core is like the heartbeat of the planet, constantly pulsing with energy, driving the forces that shape the gas and dust around it. As the core grows, so too does the planet's atmosphere, which continues to swirl and change in response to the growing forces at work within the planet. Though still in its early stages, WISPIT to be is beginning to show signs of becoming the gas giant it is destined to be. The planet's gravity is pulling in more and more gas, shaping its growing atmosphere. The winds begin to pick up speed, carrying the gas and dust across the planet's surface, slowly beginning to form the bands of clouds that will one day define the planet's surface. The storms, though small, are starting to take shape, their patterns guided by the energy from the planet's core. These early signs of weather are just the beginning of WISPIT to be's transformation. Over millions of years, the planet will continue to grow, its core becoming more powerful, its atmosphere thickening, its weather systems becoming more complex. The planet will continue to draw in material, its gravitational pull becoming stronger, and its storms will grow in intensity. But for now, in this quiet moment, you can appreciate the beauty of the early stages of formation, the gentle swirling of gas, the slow growth of the core, and the first hints of the weather systems that will define WISPIT to be for billions of years to come. As you observe the young planet from a distance, you are reminded of the beauty and power of the forces that shape the universe. The process of planetary formation is slow, but it is steady, unfolding over millions of years. WISPIT to be, though still a young world, is becoming something magnificent, gas giant, shaped by the forces of gravity, pressure, and heat, and driven by the energy of its growing core. And though it may seem like a distant, quiet world, it is full of life and energy, constantly changing and growing, becoming more and more the world it is destined to be. As you drift further into the vastness of space, you are filled with a sense of wonder. The universe is full of moments like this, moments of creation, moments of growth, moments of beauty. WISPIT to be is just one of many planets being born, but it is a reminder of the incredible forces at work in the cosmos, shaping the universe in ways that we can only begin to understand. And as the planet continues to grow, you feel a deep sense of peace, knowing that this moment of creation, this slow and steady process, is part of the eternal dance of the universe, unfolding before your eyes. As you float silently in the infinite vastness of space, the stars around you flicker like ancient fireflies, each one a distant reminder of the universe's age-old rhythm. WISPIT to be, the young gas giant, is quietly taking shape, growing and evolving in ways that are beyond the reach of your senses, yet deeply felt in the pulse of the universe. But a solar, deep, gravitational essence that defines its very being. This soul is the essence of a gas giant, an invisible force that gives the planet its character, its mass, concentrated where gravity is at its strongest, where the forces of pressure and heat collide to shape the planet's future. As the core grows larger and more powerful, it pulls more material toward itself, shaping the young world, each particle moving in harmony with the growing planet's rhythm. The core's gravity is the invisible force that holds the planet together, its soul creating the structure that will guide the young planet through the eons. You can imagine, as you float through the cosmos, the invisible threads that connect the material of the universe to the core of WISPIT to be. These threads are gravity's pull, drawing everything together in an elegant, coordinated movement. The gas and dust are not just swirling randomly. They are responding to the call of the planet's soul, moving toward the center, gathering together in a slow, steady process that will one day give birth to the planet's thick atmosphere, its intense storms, and its magnificent presence in the cosmos. The soul of a gas giant is not just about mass or gravity. It is about the forces that shape the planet from the inside out. The energy from the core drives the growth of the planet, powering the movement of the gas, the development of storms, and the thickening of the atmosphere. Evolutionary journey. As WISPIT to be grows, this energy will be the driving force behind its transformation into a fully formed gas giant. The soul of WISPIT to be is not just defined by the forces within it. It is also defined by its relationship with the universe around it, the planet's orbit, its relationship with its star, its place within the galaxy. All of these factors play a part in shaping its identity. The gravity of the young planet keeps it in orbit, while the star it orbits provides the energy that drives the planet's weather and atmosphere. And as the planet continues to grow, it will come into contact with other forces in the cosmos, shaping its destiny in ways that are yet to be seen. The soul of WISPIT to be is always evolving, constantly influenced by the universe it inhabits. As you drift further, the core, the gas, the dust, the gravity, they all come together to form a singular, beautiful whole, a young world that is slowly growing into the gas giant it will one day become. The planet's soul is a reflection of the universe itself, chaotic, ever-changing, yet guided by the invisible forces that shape everything. in this quiet moment. As you observe WISPIT to be, you begin to understand that the birth of a planet is not just a physical process. It is a cosmic dance, an interplay of forces that come together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. The planet's soul is formed from the deep gravity of its core, the swirling atmosphere, and the energy that drives it forward. It is a gentle, beautiful reminder that the universe is always in motion, always creating, always growing. As you drift through space, the young gas giant is not just a collection of gas and dust. It is a living, breathing world, its core and atmosphere shaping its destiny. And in this quiet moment, you feel a deep sense of connection to the planet, knowing that its soul is just beginning to take shape. As you continue your peaceful journey through the expanse of space, the stars sparkle like ancient witnesses to the unfolding story of the universe. WISPIT to be, the young gas giant, has grown steadily, and now it stands on the cusp of its final steps. The process that has taken millions of years, drawing in gas, forming clouds, heating the atmosphere, and growing the core, is coming to a beautiful cosmic conclusion. The planet is almost complete, ready to take its place in the great dance of the cosmos. WISPIT to be's journey has been one of patience and subtlety, a slow process that has unfolded in the quiet darkness of space. From the first whispers of gravity pulling together gas and dust, to the formation of its core, to the swirling clouds that now define its atmosphere, the planet has been guided by the steady forces of the universe. It is now a fully formed gas giant with a thick atmosphere, intense gravitational pull, and powerful storms swirling across its surface. The winds that once gently swept through the planet's early atmosphere have become fierce, as the planet's gravity and energy continue to shape the gas that surrounds it. The final steps in WISPIT to be's formation are marked by the planet's solidifying identity. As it grows, it begins to settle into its place within its solar system, held in orbit around its star by the invisible force of gravity. The gas giant's core has reached the point where it can no longer gather more material from the surrounding disk. The atmosphere has thickened, the clouds have formed into distinct bands, and the storms have intensified, becoming the powerful, swirling systems that define gas giants. WISPIT to be is no longer a young, developing world. It is now a fully realized planet, a part of the greater cosmic landscape. As you look at WISPIT to be from afar, you realize that its transformation is not an abrupt event. It is a culmination of millions of years of growth, a gentle unfolding of the forces that have shaped the planet from dust and gas into a giant world. The final steps in its formation are not dramatic, but they are beautiful in their quiet simplicity. The planet is now complete, its core solid, its atmosphere thick and vibrant, its gravity pulling everything into place. The cosmic dance that began so long ago has reached its final movement, a reflection of the universe itself. Just as the planet has formed slowly over millions of years, so too has the universe itself been unfolding, its galaxies, stars, and planets slowly coming into being, each one shaped by the forces of gravity, pressure, and energy. WISPIT to be is a part of this cosmic story, a reminder that the universe is always in motion, always changing, always growing. Every planet, every star, every galaxy is part of this eternal dance, constantly evolving, constantly reaching for the stars. As WISPIT to be finishes its journey from a cloud of gas and dust to a fully formed gas giant, you feel a sense of awe at the beauty of creation. The forces that shaped the planet are the same forces that shape the universe: gravity, energy, and pressure, all coming together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. WISPIT to be is not just a collection of gas and dust. It is a living, breathing world shaped by the cosmic forces that have guided its growth. And as you drift through space, you realize that you are part of this grand story too, a witness to the ever-unfolding beauty of the cosmos. The final steps in WISPIT 2B's formation are not the end of its journey. They are the beginning of a new chapter. The planet will continue to evolve, its weather systems growing more complex, its atmosphere becoming more defined, and its storms intensifying. But for now, WISPIT to be stands as a fully formed gas giant, ready to take its place in the universe. It is a reminder that the universe is always growing, always changing, always creating. And as the stars twinkle around you, you feel a deep sense of connection to the planet, to the universe, and to the cosmic journey that continues to unfold. As you gently float through the stars, the soft, steady pulse of the universe surrounds you. In the vastness of space, time stretches in ways that are almost impossible to grasp. And yet, here, in this stillness, you feel a profound sense of connection to the very heart of creation. As you move deeper into the cosmic landscape, you begin to sense the presence of something remarkably nursery for new worlds, where planets like WISPIT to be are born from the dust and gas of the universe. Imagine, for a moment, a vast cloud of gas and dust floating in the quiet expanse of space. This is the cosmic nursery, the birthplace of planets, stars, and everything that makes up the universe. The dust is made of particles so small that they are barely visible to the naked eye, yet they are the building blocks of everything we know. In this cosmic cradle, the atoms and molecules slowly begin to come together, forming clumps, then larger masses, and eventually planets. WISPIT to be is one of these planets in the making, its core still forming, its atmosphere still growing as it gathers gas and dust from the surrounding disk. This disk, made of gas and particles that once surrounded a newborn star, is the fertile ground where new worlds take shape. The process is slow, taking millions of years, but in the grand scheme of the universe, it is just a brief moment, a single heartbeat in the life of a galaxy. In this cosmic nursery, there is a gentle pull, an invisible force that guides the process of planet formation. This force is gravity, and it is the quiet hand that shapes the dust into something more, something that will one day become a planet. As the particles come together, they begin to form larger and larger clumps, like a snowball rolling through the snow, gathering more material as it goes. These clumps, over time, will eventually form the core of the planet, around which gas and dust will continue to gather, forming an atmosphere, and eventually the giant ball of gas we know as a gas giant like WISPIT to be. But what makes WISPIT to be so special? This young planet is still in the early stages of formation, and what we are witnessing is a rare and delicate moment. The process of forming a gas giant is different from the formation of rocky planets like Earth. Gas giants, like WISPIT to be, are formed from the accumulation of vast amounts of gas, which is drawn in from the surrounding disk by the planet's gravitational pull. The atmosphere of a gas giant is made up of light elements, primarily hydrogen and helium, which slowly build up over time. It's a slow and steady process, but as the gas accumulates, the planet grows, its atmosphere thickening, and its core becoming more solid. Imagine standing on the surface of a planet like WISPIT to be. If it were even possible, the sky would be filled with swirling clouds of gas, a constant, ever-changing dance of molecules and particles. The atmosphere would be thick, and the pressure would be immense. As the planet's core pulls in more and more gas, forming a dense, swirling mass, the planet would feel alive, constantly shifting and changing as it grows. As you float through this cosmic nursery, you begin to understand that the formation of WISPIT to be is not just a physical process, it is a dance of forces, a gentle pull of gravity and gas, working together to create something new. The stars above, the gas and dust surrounding you, and the invisible hand of dark matter all play a part in shaping this new world. It is a cosmic harmony, a quiet symphony of creation unfolding in the dark. This process is not unique to WISPIT to be. All gas giants form in much the same way, gathering gas from the surrounding disk, growing larger and larger as their gravity pulls in more material. But each planet is unique, shaped by the specific conditions of its formation. The star around which it orbits, the amount of gas in the surrounding disk, and the gravitational interactions with nearby planets all play a role in shaping the final form of the planet. WISPIT to be is no different, and yet it is still special. Still in its early stages, a new world waiting to take shape. As you float through this cosmic nursery, you realize that the birth of a planet is a delicate and slow process, a process that takes millions of years. Yet, in the grand expanse of the universe, this is just the beginning, single moment in the life of a galaxy. And even though the process of planet formation is still unfolding, there is beauty in the quiet certainty that new worlds are always being born. WISPIT to be, still gathering gas, still forming its atmosphere, is just one of many planets in the making. It is part of a cosmic cycle that has been unfolding for billions of years, creating the planets and stars that fill the sky. And as you drift through this vast expanse, you feel a sense of wonder, knowing that the universe is always creating, always evolving, always giving birth to new worlds in the quiet of space. Where time stretches endlessly, you are reminded that the universe is not a static place. It is a living, breathing entity, constantly changing, constantly forming, and constantly creating. And in this dance of creation, you find a deep sense of peace, knowing that even in the darkness, there is always light, always growth, always something new taking shape.